everyone. I just thought I'd share a few thoughts with you again during this lockdown period. We may be feeling like we have less freedom at the moment, like our freedom is curtailed. We can't go out as we please, we can't travel as we please, we can't engage in the same kind of leisure activities, some of us can't go to work, some of us can't even leave our homes for the time being. So that made me think about the whole issue of freedom. The Bible has an awful lot to say about the subject of freedom, from God releasing the Israelites from slavery in Egypt, to Jesus announcing in the synagogue that he had come to set the captives free during his earthly ministry. And then the Apostle Paul writes about freedom from sin. Today I'm going to share a few thoughts about Onesimus. Now, Onesimus was a slave. In the Roman Empire, slavery was very common. His master was a Christian by the name of Philemon. And the Apostle Paul writes a letter to Philemon talking about Onesimus. He has met Onesimus after the slave has run away from his master. He's met Paul and he has become a Christian. And that has been life-changing for him. Paul calls him a son. He's very fond of him. But he does talk about Onesimus returning to Philemon, although he does urge Philemon to treat him as a Christian brother rather than a slave. We may be rather disappointed, I'm certainly rather disappointed that Onesimus was not freed from slavery. Slavery is a deplorable thing, and we struggle when we read about it in our Bibles. And although Onesimus' spiritual freedom is very real, he still is a slave in the society that he lives in. There are many situations in life where the practical circumstances cannot be changed, at least for the foreseeable future. God's ultimate kingdom will be a place without illness, without any kind of captivity. But for the time being, this has not yet arrived. Onesimus is God's precious child, but he still remains a slave. His circumstances in the world are not changed. Yet in a world that is painful and difficult, this hope remains. There is unshakable peace to be found, and that peace can only be found with God. In his letter to the Philippians, Paul writes, "I've learned to be content whatever the circumstances. I know what it is to be in need, and I know what it is to have plenty. I have learned the secret of being content in any and every situation, whether well-fed or whether hungry, whether living in plenty or in want. I can do all this through him who gives me strength." We're in a challenging situation, some of us in extremely challenging situations, but this hope and peace remains. God bless you.